you know, in power. And there's only one way that I know of that's a safe way to do that. And that's by praying not according to our own will, but literally following the instruction that Jesus gave us. He said to pray them this way. That prayer, the Lord's Prayer, has been put in place, it's installed throughout time and creation and evidence of now and any other kind of spin anyone could put on the way that they use their words to, find a way of establishing their power. Everyone, well, what I'm finding is nowadays it just seems like in this time of life, it just seems like a big, big area of concern is that I hear this and I see this amongst all different walks of life. People want power and they're willing to do whatever they can to get it, it seems. And I think that sometimes it might be important to look at why. Why do you want this power? Some people say, I want this power to prove that God is with me. Or someone, so people can see me have it. But what I notice is one, people that get it, that talk like that are some scary people to be around. Because they're like Pinky and the Brain. They just, okay, here we go. And you don't know what's really going to come out of them. But what I have learned and what I'm seeing is that I think that's something that's entrusted, that God entrusts to his children as we walk and live in the ways of obedience. It's more like it's his. And just like how we would do with our children and, give them what they need to do what we send them to do. It's more like that. It's like you're not in control of it. So it's really not necessary for you to seek after it because you don't get to have it anyway when you get it. you know let's think about the Lord's Prayer. If you think about the way it's laid out, there's like this message, this amazing message that's multi-dimensional and multi-layered, that I don't know if we can ever get to the end of the deepest of the depths of the understanding of this message in the Lord's Prayer. And I don't understand. It seems like people tend to overlook it, or maybe they may quote the Lord's Prayer. But I think let's just look at the very first sentence, the first two words, really. Our Father. That signifies a unity of brethren. Our Father. But we have everybody fighting over who's right about God, from what to call him, to what he wants you to wear, to how he wants you to look, like he's just a statue on a wall. Don't have no kind of effort or way of interacting with mankind to let us know that he's real. It's just, according to some of these behaviors, you would have to wonder about this God if you didn't know about him. I can see why people can be confused, because everybody talking about God some kind of way, they fighting, confused, don't want to, nobody can agree on anything about him. And instead of serving him and living for him and honoring him and worshiping and praising him and exonerating, lifting him up, there's more effort in some veins of life. There's more effort in, fighting about him. And so he's not there. So our Father, I think that one thing that learned that to work on is my interaction with others, people, mankind, humans. Be concerned with concerns. Allow myself to think about someone other than myself. Our Father. Isn't that what a parent wants? To see their children working together, not fighting and squabbling over every little thing and trying to one up each other? Who art in heaven. I think that's really clear. He ought to be able to represent who he is and let us know he is real, and we ought to be able to thank him, praise him, magnify him, lift him up, give him his glory. The Lord's Prayer is significant. It's the most powerful prayer anyone could ever pray. Well, I don't know. I may kind of think differently about that sometimes, because I think the most powerful prayer I've ever prayed has been help. So, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive others. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. To thine be the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. My hope and my desire is that you and everyone else will find the information, the knowledge, the understanding that they need to know that he has for them to know and understand, that there will be a desire and an interest and a hunger for his will, that people will become seekers of the will of God, be interested in his will and seek his will, and know that he is the one that has made us and not we ourselves. Thank you for coming to my very short live. It's my first live stream, and I'm starting to understand why we have people stepping out and doing things like this at a time like this with this kind of topic, this way of encouraging. It's an avenue to reach out into the hearts and lives of people and encourage. That's what my heart is about here. Thank you.